right. Awesome. Well, what's up? How are you? Happy Wednesday.
I'm good. I'm good. It's fight week. Recently married, so all good. It's all
Ye-
good. Weight's good.
All right. Awesome. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, I never like bothering fighters on fight week, and especially as we get closer to the fight. So I appreciate you taking the time. Means a lot. I don't mean to bother, but I'm excited to talk to you, especially ahead of this
Yeah.
fight. And congrats on, yes, the marriage. We'll get into that, but just thanks so much.
No, of course. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I mean, when I heard about the story, what was it? Maybe last night. This came together pretty quickly. I was like, I gotta hear about this. Talk to Elise Reed, big fight, Jessica Penne. But all right, we don't hear what happened all the time. So let's walk through it a little bit together here, Elise. So
Sure.
offered the fight originally
hmm
for last week, correct? UFC Vegas 98,
Yes.
October 12th.
hmm
Got pushed to this weekend, obviously, as per your request. Had to cancel the honeymoon, all these
Yeah.
things. I guess tell me the timeline of how all this played out with the marriage and all the fun that you have had to go through.
Yeah. So we had the venue sometime in September of last year. So the date was pretty much picked out from a ways back.
Yeah.
And then I had surgery on my elbow since the last fight. Um, Around May, June, I hit up my manager and I was like, "Listen, I'm cleared to go with the elbow. I'm done with military training for the year. Let's let's put a fight together. Let's see if we can get it to happen before the wedding." And he's like, "Okay, working on it." And then probably 8 weeks before this week, so probably like middle of August, he goes, "Listen." He goes, "We have one. It was a great matchup." He goes, "It's October 12th." And I was like, "Well, can't do that.
Kind of busy.
Can't, yeah." And you want to be, the UFC is the best place to be. So you want to be as nice and, you know, the best fighter that you can for them. So I
Right.
was like, "Okay, so if we were to cancel the wedding, no, we had already had part of like the deposits done." I was like, "Listen," I was like, "That's the only date I can't do."
Hmm.
So we tried to get it for the week before because then it's like, okay, so then the fight's done, the training can be done, and then the day's done. And then they said, "Nope." They said we can do the 19th. And I was like, "Okay, well, let me talk to the soon-to-be wife and see what she thinks." And we said yes, I think within a day or two, and that's that. So no Key West, but Vegas. Vegas.
Yeah, I mean, can't beat that. And it kind of works out, I guess, to where, we've seen it before where people get married after the fight and, then they got to take the pictures and maybe they're all beat up and bruised. So you didn't have to worry about that.
That is true. I was talking to the commentators this morning, and I was like, I still have part of my tan, so hopefully the fight photos came out well. Um, but it was a whole thing leading up to training because it was such a contrast.
Hmm.
First or second week in camp, I've got a black eye, and I'm like, okay, so maybe we want to tell the makeup artist that like to work a little bit more, even though the fight isn't till after. The training might be really intense, and I might be messed up. I split my lip this camp, which was good. So I had to get stitches. But yeah, going from training to a dress fitting to training again to a spray tan was really, it was a new experience for me. Absolutely new experience.
Quite a combination.
Uh-huh. Oh yeah.
I,
Tell me.
I mean, geez, was that kind of stressful then to combine, I'm not married or anything, but I've heard the preparation alone, like scheduling and sorting things out, which I'm sure, you did a while ago, as you mentioned there, but like as it's leading up to actually the day, plus going through fight camp, like, I don't know,
Yeah.
maybe was that a nice distraction to then maybe not think about things? Or I guess, what was it like juggling?
It was miserable. It was
Okay.
absolutely miserable. Not My significant other is amazing, so I don't want to say anything in that regard, but it was the we had an event planner for the day of, so that took a lot of what we had to do off our plate, as long as we had the vendors, which we had already done well ahead of time. Um, but I think there was three dress fittings, there's a spray tan, there's a waxing, there's a mani and pedicures, the finding the shoes, finding the rehearsal outfit, finding the reception outfit. Um, I am not a person that cares for that type of stuff to begin with. So it probably took a little bit more mental space than I would have liked,
Mm,
but we didn't want to let training take a backseat either,
hmm.
obviously, because that's something that's more, not more important than our marriage, but more, it's very significant.
Right.
So we made sure that the training amped up when we could, and then obviously we made sure that we tapered when it made sense. And so as much as it was hectic for a little bit, because the wedding was the week before, it made it kind of nice to where the taper led into the wedding a little bit. But no, if I have to argue whether it's a gold candle or a silver candle or a clear candle
Right.
ever again, I'm done. I'm done. No more. No more.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was hectic, but it was all managed really well. Training was great, and obviously the wedding was a success. So we're good. We're batting 1,000.
Yes, absolutely. And was it difficult kind of making these adjustments with your partner? Like how was it from their side? Were they upset with things? Not to throw them under the bus or anything, but
No, they're in the room, so I got to be really careful with what I
okay,
say.
don't want to
No,
get in
no, no, I'm
trouble.
kidding. No, she was great. It was something where my coach, when we heard that it was the day of first, obviously that's a no. The week
Hmm.
after, okay, it was still something where we just have to be really regimented with it, like very precise in terms of how we're going about it. And my coach was really nice to say, like, listen, take a day, take 2 days, talk to her, make sure you guys feel comfortable because you only get married once if we do it
Ideally,
right.
ideally.
Right? Yeah, if we do it right. You only get married once and it's gonna be your life and hers, not just you, right? So it was something where we talked about and she without even like second thought was like, listen, it's really important to you. Whatever we got to do, I'm going to take as much as I can off your plate so that you can focus on the training. So, outside of those stupid candles that we had to think about probably the week before, everything was it was great. She did exactly what she could to help me and it just flowed really nicely. So, yeah, won't do it again. Won't do it again, but it worked out just fine.
Yeah, I feel like this experience has ruined candles for you just overall.
I I can tell you it was like a conversation where it was the florist was one, the wedding planner was another, and then we're looking at centerpieces and they're all different colors and I'm like, I don't care. If you
Yeah.
tell me that our wedding is based on candles, I'm gonna throw something. So
Right.
it was good. No, it was good. It all worked out fine. We went with clear and then we called it a day.
All right. I love to hear it. That is great. But I mean, how was the reaction? I guess to having to cancel or put a back burner on the honeymoon plan, right? And what was it? Are you going to do the same thing? What's that looking like?
So we don't know. We don't
Okay.
know. The training plan, the wedding plan was enough altogether. Um, the moment we were originally going to go to Key West for a few days to at least just have time
Yeah.
to like settle. Um, we may have made it longer, but once we heard that it was null and void, we're like, okay, so we can wait till the winter because we're from New Jersey. We're gonna wait till it's miserable outside and we don't
Perfect.
want to be there anymore, and we'll go somewhere for a week or 10 days and not do anything. So we're thinking an all inclusive, but have no idea where or when. Just know it's sometime in the future after this fight.
Yes, exactly. Can celebrate victory and the marriage and all that good stuff all in one. Maybe New Year's.
Yeah.
Who knows? You could turn it into the
Yeah.
holidays. We'll see.
No, yeah. We just don't want to push it to where she's asking me like, so when are we going on this honeymoon of
Yes.
ours?
Gotta
Um,
time it.
yeah, so probably sometime in the winter. I think January, February, and then we'll go from there.
All
Yeah.
right. Awesome. Yeah, that's exciting stuff. And as for the wedding itself, like you said, that was all good and got through it. What was it kind of like going through the experience though on the actual day? Like, I again, not married, so I don't know how it goes, but
Yeah.
like the nerves, that feels like a weird thing for me to say because it's like, well, you've already agreed to, getting married.
Yeah.
So like, what was it like for you, I guess, going through the actual ceremony process and whatever all you did?
Yeah, yeah, no worries. It was definitely unique. I think the anticipation of the event and the day is just because there's so much effort that goes into it.
Right.
You're planning a year, 8 months out. We did have our officiant cancel on the Monday before the wedding, so there's always a lot of hiccups or some hiccups in there. But um, but it was good. We came in, we knew that we wanted the day to be as relaxed as possible. Um, Hung out with my family, with my friends. She did the same on her side. The vows, we almost cried. We almost destroyed
Oh,
our, just, but it was great. It was beautiful. And then we had a great time at the reception. So we just partied. So it was definitely something where I compartmentalize a lot. And I was like, okay, so if we're gonna set it up to where we have the fight and the wedding, I'm gonna do all that I can leading up to the day of the wedding, the day of the wedding. I'm gonna forget for 24 hours what I'm gonna do in a week, and then the next day we're back on it. So it was a great time with the friends and family. The event was flawless. It really turned out better than we could have imagined, and we're excited to see photos and videos from it. But now it's fight week, so
yes.
so it's short-lived. I think Sunday we probably talked about it a little bit and reminisced, and then started packing on Monday, and now here we are in Vegas. So.
Yeah, lock in, get in the fight zone.
Exactly,
Change direction
exactly.
there. Kind of a
Oh
big
yeah.
change.
It's it's something else to see yourself looking so pretty and dainty and then realizing that you're gonna hit somebody, in
Yeah.
a week. It's such a contrast. It's crazy.
That's why we love it, though. You guys are a different breed, so it's very cool. Is the friends and family though? Are they going to be there then, or was a week too long to stay around? What's that looking like?
Yeah, no, they're so the wedding was local, so my parents are still there. My
Hmm.
sister lives close, but yeah, no, we pretty much all scattered. We're
Okay.
gonna take do some business here on Saturday, and then head back home for a little bit. And then I actually have military training for 2 weeks end of October, so I don't like to settle too often, I guess is where we're going here.
Yeah.
But no, it's good. Yeah.
All right. Cool. So yeah, I mean, with the military training, then you said what you have put that on pause generally for fight camps. Is that how that works, or kind of how is it with
So
that?
yeah, so I'm in the reserve, so there's a normally a commitment or an obligation 1 weekend a month,
Hmm.
and sometimes it can be more, sometimes it can be less, depending on the schedule. I had annual training that happened earlier on in the year, like March, April, and that was for almost 30 days, so that was a long one.
Hmm.
But once that was done, the summer was pretty much free, and now I have Captain's Career Course, which is just like an educational course for career progression in the military, and that's 2 weeks in Virginia. So I'll be going to Fort Lee, which was is now Fort Greg Adams, but that's going to be a logistics course. Nothing too crazy, no crawling in the dirt or anything like that. It's more just paperwork and classes. But normally it's 1 weekend a month. So they've been really nice with it because actually we're supposed to drill this Saturday, so I'm missing work
All
to
right.
the fight. Yeah.
So it does conflict a little bit sometimes then.
Yes. Yeah. They're awesome though. It's been something where every time, because obviously the UFC is the best organization to fight in, and you want to make sure you can take advantage of whatever opportunities come along. It's definitely been something where I've debated staying in or getting out, but they have been huge supporters, so they've worked with me every time.
All right, can't beat that. And thank you for all you're doing, Elise. That is very cool stuff. There, busy woman indeed.
Trying.
Yeah, you got it right. Got to stay active and staying active in the cage as well. So let's talk about the fight a little bit. This is a big one, a very
Yeah.
exciting one. Jessica Penne, of course, absolute pioneer of the division here. Just a great competitor as always, sticking around as she is. Just what are your thoughts on this matchup, and how exciting is it for you to get to fight somebody of her status? Not the first former like atomweight champion or person of that stature that you have fought. Obviously, got the win over Jimmy
Right.
New Fry there, but
Yeah.
how is this one for you in terms of excitement level?
It's 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 cool. I mean, I'm blessed and grateful to be able to watch it as a kid and have the people that are still in the game as like not necessarily mentors, but people that you look up to. I know her teammate Angela Hill has been somebody that I've watched for a long time, and just I feel like her style and my style is very similar. So to fight Jessica Penne is a great opportunity. It's another way to kind of showcase my skill as well, and it also provides a challenge because she is so well versed in the cage with some solid ground game. So it just keeps me on my toes and ensures that I get better. I have to step up to these legends.
Yeah, indeed. And I mean, of course, that's kind of the area of expertise we're known to seeing from her. Very flexible on the ground, one of the best grapplers in the division's history. For my money, at least, I think she was in the greatest women's fight of all time with Michelle Waterson. So it's always cool to kind of reflect on that
Yeah.
one and get to compete against her for the opponents, I think. But yeah, I mean, with all that considered, where would you rank a win in your career? I mean, like I mentioned some other good ones there, but if you get the win over
Yeah.
her here.
No, this is definitely one where anybody in the division that's been there a long time, that's had a number across their name, to come out with a victory against them is something where I'm not necessarily just getting a win, but making a little bit of a statement. I know that Loopy was a great matchup as well, and unfortunately, I didn't know at the time, but I had COVID when I fought
Oh, fun.
Odinez. Yeah. So I'm really excited to one fight somebody that has that type of stature like Jessica Penne, but also to kind of showcase my capabilities as well. And I think this matchup will definitely do that.
Yeah, hard to disagree with you there, and I mean, just keep climbing up the ranks, of course. And the divisional landscape's kind of interesting right now. I feel like things have slowed down at the top, but as someone being in the division yourself, Elise, like, what are you kind of making of the division, I guess, and how quickly you can get in kind of that mix with a win here? And I guess again, it's just kind of stagnant. What do you make of things?
Yeah. No, I mean, I think you're completely right. I think it's definitely gotten to the point where there's a top 10 to 15 that their names kind of circle around whether they're in the rankings or not. I think they're people that are there for a long time. And I think a win or two against solid opponents like Jessica Penne and others that have that kind of history can propel you to those rankings because there's not necessarily a division in terms of the people that are coming in versus the top 10 or 15, but there absolutely is a little bit more of a spread than you would think. And so this is just kind of on my way, fighting Luke Boomy, fighting Jin Frey, fighting McKenna. There's definitely been people that I've fought that have had tremendous skill and looking to keep working my way up there to break a number.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't know if you saw this last night. At least been busy with things, of course, with your own fight week. But Dana White, for the first time actually teasing, or at least being open to atom weights. And I mean, this
I
is a
would
thing. Just tell me what your thoughts.
bring it on, Dana. Give it to me. Give it to me. Give it to me. Give it to me. I would love an atomweight division. I think my coach and I were talking about it earlier this morning. Because we read something, and he's like, "Listen, if there's atom, I think we already told our manager, like, if there's atom weight, put us in, because not that I'm not a good 115, but I'm a mother of a 105. And just with the women's divisions, you got the 115 division that's been the best division, I think, women's MMA in the UFC for a long time.
Mhm.
125 definitely has its highlights. You look at the top five, and those women are killers. 135, 145 have one or two, but they're kind of it's kind of a slow division as well. I think if you take the 115 division and Dana opens up a 105 to where some of those 115s that are already beasts can drop down, you're gonna see a really I mean, I'd be game. I'd
Yes.
be game to make this weight cut a little bit more miserable, to make that 105. But yeah, if there's a 105, I hope that I'm one of those the top in the list, to make that list. Yeah.
I think it would make perfect sense. And I love what you're saying, too. I've had that thought, especially if they bring in, the talent pool of just the natural 105ers that are out there right now. That's the perfect way to do it. And then, of course, we'll get the ones dropping down to make it even better because it's a great division as it is globally. The problem is they're just all spread out.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, no. 105 is one where it's similar to a 125 man, but 115 and 105 isn't that big of a difference. You're really just not looking at that big of a difference, but you're giving the ladies that are maybe a little bit lighter of a
yes.
115 a better opportunity, and I'm happy to take that one. Happy.
So I don't want to see this happen, Elise, but if they opened it with the Ultimate Fighter, would you be on board with that? A little tougher, right?
Yeah, a little tougher, a little tougher. I mean, if they the weight right now for 105 for me wouldn't be the hardest.
Hmm.
I know I'm getting older and my coach says it's going to keep getting harder to take it off. It hasn't necessarily had that. Um, I would probably have to have a talk with management because even in the 115 division, I don't see myself as far off. I think I'm easily a top 15 striker, and I think I could make my way up there. Um, but I know I could destroy some 105s. So I think it would just be a conversation because I've always felt really strong at 105. That's what I did amateur, and that's what was my first pro fight. But um, but yeah, we'd have to look at what the plans are for that division from the UFC and see if it makes sense. If it was like a tryout, like a blind date, and we're gonna see how it works out, then probably not. If they have names in that tough that are really solid, then we'd see. But I mean, I would definitely entertain a conversation to say the
All
least.
right. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. And I mean, hey, I love the enthusiasm and confidence just for the division in general. So we'll take that. Fingers crossed that it finally happens because I've been pushing for this since like 2018. So it's good to hear some traction, maybe, or positivity from Dana. So
Yeah,
we
yeah,
will
absolutely.
see.
Give the people what they want. Give the people what they
Yes,
want.
and give the fighters what they want. And there's a lot of people who are asking for this. Even Penne, like I said, former champ, she's down for it. She's been calling for it. Same with Angie. So we'll see. We will see. But first, got to get through this weekend, Elise. I don't want to keep you much longer here, so I just want to say thanks again for taking the time, especially on fight week. Big congrats on getting through the wedding turbulation and all that, the
Thank you.
turbulence. But good stuff there. Very exciting. Can't wait for this fight. Always fun watching you, and should be a good one with Jessica. So best of luck, and hope you have a great rest of your day and week with all the weight cuts and that fun stuff. So thank you again.
Thank you, Drake. Thank you.